Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. Whatever music I prepare for, I do essentially prepare in the same way. Obviously, when we do opera, we don't use microphones, but you have to forget about the microphone being there, I find. The bits of music theatre I've done, it's quite hard. If you want to do lots of different styles, which I do, it is a bit of a constant battle because people sort of think, well, what are you? It's like, well, I like doing all of them. I don't see why you can't. So, yeah, that's why I do everything. And I just try and do everything to the best of my ability. This programme kind of encapsulates a lot of the greats of music theatre. We've got Gershwin, we've got Irving Berlin, Rodgers and Hammerstein. You know, they are the stalwarts, if you like, of music theatre. They wrote countless melodies. I mean, just endless numbers of tunes. You can't. There's so much repertoire in music theatre. You can't possibly kind of cover everything. Most of this is sort of from the 20s to 20s, 30s, 40s. There is a bit from later. Some people call that the golden years, but then sometimes people call 40s to the 60s the golden years. Francesca is doing what we might call the belter numbers, you know, there was a woman called Ethel Merman who was this iconic figure on Broadway, as somebody like Judy Garland did as well, you know. Fantastic show-stopping singing, it is so, you know, they're all such brilliant numbers. Often they have really big band numbers, they're called. You know, the orchestra don't like being called a band, but they're just fantastic numbers. They're very gritty and wonderful tunes. And oh, my career highlights, that's a difficult one. I mean, it does actually encompass all different genres that we've been talking about. You know, here I am standing next to Theatre Royal, Drury Lane. Covent Garden is a stone's throw away. They're all opera house. Obviously, singing there is always kind of a highlight. Whatever I've done there is a highlight because it's such a wonderful place to sing. I've never sung here, but I've done musicals concerts with John Wilson's fantastic orchestra at the BBC Proms and elsewhere, and they have been complete and utter highlights for me. The first concert we did, which was the first concert he did at the Proms, was honestly, we were talking quite recently about it, and I just said, you know, it was 4 of the happiest days of my life when we rehearsed it and performed it. A couple of months ago, I had 10 fantastic days. Firstly, I was in Dresden and The Hague with Rufus Wainwright doing concerts. And he is another person who doesn't really want to be pigeonholed. He's so fantastically talented. And the programmes were about as broad as they could possibly be. So I did a couple of arias from his opera. I sang the 5 Shakespeare sonnets that he set to music with orchestra. He performed some of his songs on his own. I then sang with him for a couple of his songs. We did an opera duet, which was hilarious. You know, and then we sang a folk song as an encore, which his mother used to sing. You know, so it was 2 of the most enjoyable concerts, 3, sorry, of the most enjoyable concerts I've ever done. There is a lot to be said about the feel-good factor that can come from this kind of music. Well, from any music, frankly, but certainly from these kinds of pieces. So, and I really want people to know this music because it's so fantastic, it's so beautiful, and it really speaks to everybody. I think because, basically speaking, you're always singing in English, that is a big plus. I would hope that a younger audience will come and enjoy this fantastic music. Everything's going my way.